We started our financing and trying to build the business back as early as 1995 when I was still in high school with just a small $12,000 or $13,000 loan on one piece of equipment. And my parents had signed for that loan with the bank and moved forward. And when that was paid off, then we started doing other things. And gradually I got all the financing into my name, and it was all based solely on equipment. Securing the capital to purchase land has taken me a number of years to do it. It only actually came to happen, within the last 6 to 8 months. And I probably got a little bit lucky in the two pieces that I purchased. One, the small farm that I purchased is about 250 acres. And I had been leasing the ground from the current farmers as they had gotten older and were no longer physically able to farm the ground. And we had a very good relationship over the past 3 or 4 years. And they had decided that it was time for them to sell. And they carried the note on the ranch privately. And then a piece of property that doesn't quite adjoin it, but just down the road a little bit, it came up. And I had actually ironically tried to buy the piece of property about 7 years ago and was not able to buy it. Had been foreclosed upon. It was bank owned. And I had a slight relationship with that bank and was able to come up with enough down payment to purchase that. And the property was able to cash flow itself. And when I say the property is able to cash flow itself, I mean that the amount of hay that is produced off the property and sold will be able to pay for the expenses associated with the property. And the only way that that property was even able to cash flow itself was I didn't have to purchase any additional equipment. First things they need to look at is what their level of knowledge, skill set, and expertise is in relationship to the type of operation they're trying to buy. For example, I'm extremely knowledgeable about hay, and to define that even more, alfalfa hay and orchard grass hay. I would not have a clue how to run a sugarcane farm or a soybean farm or a farm that grows a different commodity, or to get into animal agriculture. I wouldn't know how to run a commercial pork operation. Then second, and I think is vastly overlooked in the industry, is soil type. No matter what you do, trying to be a good farmer as far as picking the right variety of seed, picking the right fertilizer, using the right chemicals and crop amendment materials. If you have extremely poor soil, that's going to limit your yield or your return from the very beginning. That doesn't mean that it's a poor investment, but it means that it's not worth as much money as a farm on better soil. So knowing the soil type is one thing that is also very important. Someone should look at in the beginning. The leasing or pricing of land is highly dependent on the geographical area. In our area, land might be as low as $4,000 an acre. You might go south 100 miles and it gets up to $6,000 or $7,000 an acre. You go south another 100 miles and you'll be up to $10,000 to $12,000 an acre. Move west a few miles and you could be up to $100,000 an acre. It is extremely variable. I've seen different auction and land reports from land throughout the Midwest and other areas, and there's a lot of farmland that's been breaking $10,000 an acre. Number one obstacle or challenge I face in my business is regulations by the state and how the state regulates what I can do on my property or property that I lease and control. And California is not unique there. There's different degrees throughout all the different states of different regulations, but that's something a person has to be aware of